Hi, hello, and welcome. I am definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me level my character to 70 so that I can start doing pugs all the way to 2.8k rating. Right now we're doing time walking dungeons. We still have quite a bit to go until we hit 70. I think we need to do about 9 more dungeons, so I think 3 more episodes will get me to 70 on this character. This episode included. So this one and 2 more, and then we'll be 70, and we can actually start our pug grinding journey and gear grinding journey. I don't think I'll be doing just Mythic Plus. I think I'll also do one episode of me just doing the quests uh, once you hit 70, because this is a brand new account. I haven't done anything on this account. Actually, to prove this, I'm going to show you that I only have 2 mounts, one of which is Tyrell's Charger. Emerald Raptor is what they give you when you hit level 10 and you can learn actually to riding. Or when you learn or get given the ability to ride mounts. So I only have that and Tyrell's Charger. Tyrell's Charger I got off the trading post. Before I queue for a dungeon, I'm quickly going to sell all my belongings, or all the gray crap in my inventory that I don't need. And I'm going to go ahead and vendor all these items that I don't need. Just quickly checking to make sure that I don't vendor anything that's actually an upgrade. Oh, hold on. This might be a better stat, though. Let me see. Crit haste versus... Oh, no, I lose haste, so it's not. This has leech, but it's a downgrade. This is just a straight up downgrade. Cool. Let's find a group. I'm gonna shut up until I get a Q pop. Oh, here we go. Q finally popped. Let's see what we get. Please don't give me another Court of Stars. I really don't want to do another Court of Stars. I think that's the big downside of doing the leveling grind from 60 to 70 is that you're going to get a bunch of the same dungeons over and over again, no matter what you do. If you do time walking, it'll be a lot of the same stuff. If you do, what's it called? Normal Dragonflight dungeons, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. Luckily for Normal Dragonflight, there's, I believe, 8 of the 8 different dungeons, but for time walking, there's only 6, I think. Let's see, Blackrock Hold, the Prison of the Wardens or whatever, the Court of Stars, Neltharion's Lair. There's something else, right, that I'm not thinking of right now? Or is it just the 4 of them? There's got to be something else. Oh, Dark Iron Thicket, so there's 5. What's the 6th one? Is there a 6th one? Oh! Oh no, I queued for the wrong thing! I queued for the wrong thing. Oh well, this is a welcome change of pace. I was complaining about doing the same dungeons over and over again, so let's do something like this. Is everyone here? We're missing the Shaman. The Shaman hasn't loaded in yet. Waiting for the Shaman. There's the Shaman. Once they start moving, I'm gonna go bear form. Yep, they're moving. Let's go. Okay, let's see if we can do a horribly bad pull here. I bet I can. Watch me. Are we gonna pop some defensives here while we gather?
Crowd control.
I'm not gonna pull absolutely everything. I'm gonna pull a good bit, but I'm not gonna pull absolutely
Crowd
everything.
control.
The EBM lady says crowd control. I say, what do you mean? I'm pulling. I'm still gathering.
Crowd
I ain't
control.
controlling nothing. I'm gonna get into this little nook here. I'm gonna pop absolutely everything in here and just hope for the best. One might say, Jesus,
Crowd
take the
control.
wheel. Why would you? Don't bop me. You just killed everyone.
Crowd control.
I think he just learned his lesson on a very hard way. Gonna move to a different nook. Oh, this is rough. I mean, I'm not taking basically any damage, but I'm not worried about myself right now. I'm worried about these poor guys getting their butts kicked.
Crowd control.
I'm gonna put down one of these, and I'm gonna knock them back. The reason I did that is because I just really wanted to get some interrupts out.
Crowd control.
Frenzied regeneration. Okay. Gonna pop survival instincts again here. We're gonna have bark skin up in a second. I'll use that once survival instincts is down. Bark skinning. Get out of that. Okay. I think we stabilized.
Crowd control.
Yeah, but the big thing that killed us there was actually the Holy Paladin putting his bop on me. I feel like there's a lot of new Holy Paladins now because the class is supposedly so
Crowd
overpowered, and it
control.
really is. Um, there's a lot of them that don't understand how bop works, and they just put it on the tank because it's like, oh, no physical damage, yes, but you also lose all aggro. Alright, there we go. I'm just gonna say, don't bop your tank. Oh, this is where you
Watch your step.
this is where you time warp? Not when we pull 50 mobs, you pull it, you use
Kill
it now.
ads.
I mean, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. But yeah, I said don't bop your tank. I feel like that's universally understood. Don't bop your tank because it
Kill
makes them
ads.
drop aggro. Oh yeah, my DPS. Why would you do that? Let me pad my stats, dude.
Watch your step.
Hail bombs, move us a little bit. There we go. Boss down. Okay. That was a hell of a pull at the start. I was not debating. I was going to do it no matter what. But I was curious if we could do it. Let's see here. What did I do? I did a lot of damage is what I did, but looking at it, it's mostly thrash damage it seems. Not mostly it seems. It's definitely the most thrash damage. So it's not a bad damage profile, it doesn't look like. I wonder if Moonfire would have done more there, because they were alive for a long time, so maybe the Moonfire dot would have done more than the Thrash offensive talents there. I'm not sure. I really don't know, and that's kind of what bothers me, is that I can't really tell, because leveling dungeons are just such a different piece of gameplay compared to the rest of the game. I'm gonna see if... Oh, please. Please don't
Crowd
knock
control.
back casters. Because when you knock back casters, all it does is keeps the casters away from the rest of us who can actually OE them. I think it's the Shaman who's using Thunderstorm. Well, obviously it's the Shaman using Thunderstorm, but oh, I'm gonna get hit by that.
Crowd control.
Oof. I guess I found a couple of people that don't know how to really play their class, and that's fair. It's a normal dungeon, and they're probably just leveling it for the first time. But yeah, for other people
Crowd
who
control.
play Shaman, you don't want to use Thunderstorm. You want to use the modified Thunderstorm that you get from the talents. I'm trying to taunt that, but my taunt's on cooldown. You want to use the modified Thunderstorm from the talents, which knocks things up instead of back. It's obviously useful sometimes to... Can you get away from me, dude? Are you insane? Just stand still and use the edge of it to knock him up. That guy was trying his hardest to make sure that I get hit by that knock up. Anyway, use the knock up one, not the knockback one, unless there's a very specific scenario where you want to knock back enemies instead of knock the enemies up. If you want to use Thunderstorm to interrupt things, you want to have the knock up talent. You don't want to use it as it is normally. Because you're going to knock things away, and then the caster is going to start casting while he's really far away. And that's not good, is it? Okay. I guess he was trying really
Crowd
hard
control.
to... I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why I'm not holding aggro, because these guys aren't sure as heck not out DPSing me. Oh, it's the Earth Elemental! Oh, I get it. That's okay. I'm just gonna let that thing rot in the background. There we go. I have an interrupt. I have an interrupt now. Kick that. Please don't thunderstorm.
Crowd
Oh
control.
no. Why would it? I guess they just don't know. And it's okay, you know. They'll learn at some point when they actually listen to someone. They're not gonna listen to some random tank in their run.
Crowd control.
At least I didn't get bopped again. I think the paladin figured out that was not a good idea. But this Earth Elemental makes me feel absolutely useless. He's just tanking
Crowd
everything.
control.
And DBM lady needs to shut the hell up. I get it. Crowd control. There. I used crowd control, DBM lady. Are you happy now?
Crowd control.
Oh, there she goes again. What crowd control? I don't have crowd control anymore. I used my 2 crowd control abilities. This group has very little damage. The mage is doing something, but that shaman is just thunderstorming things. Wow, somebody interrupted something. That's amazing. That was sarcasm, by the way. Yes, people should interrupt things by default, not just once in every 15 years. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna pop my cooldowns here and try to DPS this boss down.
Killers.
If I'm getting this this
Shockwave.
tilted about people running
Interrupt
a
1.
normal dungeon,
Interrupt
I'm not
2.
even gonna bother interrupting that. I'm
Defensive.
just gonna do damage
Interrupt 3.
because we
Interrupt 4.
are not worried about dying.
Shockwave.
I'm getting a little irritated about the
Interrupt 5.
DBM lady.
Interrupt.
If I interrupt it, does she
Collapse.
just
Interrupt.
chill for a bit? Nope, she does not chill
Gate
for a
9.
bit.
Interrupt.
Oh, that's really irritating. I really
Shockwave.
need to turn off DBM.
Interrupt 1. Run. Defensive.
Please, for the love of God, kill this. Thank you. Why is this so much harder? I guess because you have to actually play the game. You can't just turn your brain off like you can in time walking. I don't know, man. This is rough. Oh boy. What did I sign myself up for? This is, I guess, my first taste of what Mythic Plus will be like. And if it's gonna be like this, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where's this mage? There he is. Is the healer just not healing much? He is now. Okay. He picked it up. There he is. He's healing now. Let me switch this from overall to current segment so I can see if there's anyone actually doing any damage. Okay, the shaman's doing damage here. That's very nice. That's a good pull for the shaman. Why is this guy pulling instead of me? I'm just gonna let him tank that then. Go ahead, dude. See how you do. How's that working out for you? It's the poor mage that pays the price because the red paladin really wanted to tank. I'm being too salty. Alright, let's focus up. Let's get this done. Pop my berserking. Or berserk. Or incarnation, I guess. Mashing my rage generators so that I can use more iron fur. Using iron fur or using rage causes me to heal enemies by, when I use 200 rage, I will do a massive AoE heal. That's helping us stay alive. And kick that fire flash. Rebuff that mage. Now when we have a moment quiet. I don't have my kick available, so I couldn't kick that. Wow, I got really salty this dungeon because people were just not performing well. I need to, if I'm gonna get that salty about people not performing well, oof, this series is gonna be very interesting in Mythic Plus because there's gonna be a lot of lobby dungeons where people don't do very well at all. That mage is constantly taking damage, and I don't know if it's because, you know, mages are squishy or because he's just not getting much healing. Maybe he's just not getting much healing.
Incoming. Defensive.
Or maybe he's standing in that breath. Popped Rage of the Sleeper and the thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Bark Skin.
Run out. Breath incoming.
Oof. Now that druid is straight up just standing in the fire. Look at him.
Run out.
I'm gonna drop this over here. I'm gonna move back over here.
Breath incoming.
Careful of the breath. So this is what a boss fight looks like. This is the first time a boss fight is actually taking longer than like 15 seconds since I've started leveling this character. We did it for 1 minute and 14 seconds. Okay. That was, let's say that was a lot, but I'm going to leave now and go back to time walking, which is more time efficient. Whew boy. Well, I'd like to apologize about my saltiness in that run, but those thunderstorms were very, very, very irritating. In my defense, I think this damage is the vast majority of it happened to the in the first pull that I did because everybody died because I got bopped. So I'm gonna attribute the overall damage to that first pull. Okay, before I queue for that, I gotta switch. There we go. I'm gonna shut up now until I get a queue pop for time walking, which is more efficient and easier. That was actually a pretty quick pop. Please tell me I did actually queue for time walking because I don't want to go through another one of those experiences that I just had in a normal dungeon. I know I'm being very, very salty about the run, but a few of my pet peeves are people pulling instead of. Wait, that wasn't even a red paladin. It was a holy paladin running in and pulling stuff instead of me. I mean, my guy, you can't be doing that. Anyway, oh good, it is time walking. Thank goodness. Okay, wait for people to show up. Once it says 5, then I'll buff, and I'll give the movement speed buff. Come on. There's some HDD gamers in here. Who has not joined us yet? The warrior. There we go. We have the warrior. Give the movement speed. And zug zug. Huh. Guess we have to go a different way this time. That's perfectly fine. Changes absolutely nothing. We pull absolutely everything until we get to the boss. I think, yeah, this is good. I'm going to walk over here in this corner, line of sight everything. And we're going to mash everything to bits here. There we go. Mash Iron Fur. That poor evoker just needs to come over here so he actually gets healed. I don't have a battle res for him, but hopefully... Oh, he already released. Never mind. Oh, he just shoots through walls, I guess. Okay, well, I guess we'll just run over. I didn't manage to interrupt him, unfortunately. There we go. I'm going to save my speed up. Rebuff because the evoker died. This guy needs a heal and the healer's ignoring him. The Grand Sepulchre. Alright. Mash my buttons. I'm gonna pop Berserking, or not Berserking, Bark Skin and Rage of the Sleeper. We're calling souls. Not for long though. This mage is doing some serious business damage. I like that. I like that. And then we go this way. Once the little RP happens, and it opens up the door. Any day now. This RP bit is a little bit boring, but I guess in when you do this under as Mythic Plus, the doors just open, because otherwise part of your timer is dedicated to this, and people don't like that at all. Especially if people have combat buffs to keep up, some buff like a stack or something, like a fire mage with their ignite stacks or whatever, if that was a thing in Legion, because I didn't do much content in Legion. I mostly just did old world content. Blackrook Hold. Lots of swiping. No swiping, swiper. A bit of a thrash, more swipe. Okay, we keep going. Our cheat death proc, because we're not taking care of ourselves. We're going to use some defensives here. Thrash that, charge over here. Okay. Very good, kick that. Stand in line, out of line of sight of all the mobs. Pop Berserk, and let's go to town. Never mind, we're stunned. And we're going back to town. Let's go. Berserk may have been an overkill there. We're just going to moonfire that. Oh, I guess it targets random people, so it doesn't matter if I line of sight it. There we go. Ooh, big heals on the part of the after the wildfire. That's what it's called. Movement speed buff over here. I think we go to the boss now. I'm just gonna thrash on these guys and keep moving towards the boss. Can't quite reach that guy, so I'm gonna moonfire him. Everyone seems to be keeping up. We're just gonna go to boss. Move the boss over to the mobs, use Bark Skin and Rage of the Sleeper, and go to town. Very nice. Dark Rush on Stefage. Because it's a mage, so maybe it's like the way you pronounce mage. Who knows? Nobody knows. No one is sure. Experts still wonder. Kitty cat form, and let's keep moving. Still can't give people the movement speed buff. I'm not gonna do it here. Okay, rock's coming down this side. Trying to stay careful, not get knocked back by the rocks. And now we're gonna pull absolutely everything here. Maybe get a bit more kill EXP. Okay, there we go. Keep on pulling. Pop Bark Skin and Rage of the Sleeper. Basically almost always popping those two together, it seems. Probably not the best thing to do, I think, because it also, like the way the buffs interact when you use both of them together, you don't get as much value as using them individually. Like it's not one plus the other, it's like some sort of, from what I've been explained, because I haven't actually tested this with raw numbers to see if that's correct or not, but I'm just going to trust people who have clearly put in the work to see if that's how that works. But maybe I am wrong to just trust them. Why should I blindly trust? Okay, I think we go straight to the next boss with this. I'm not even going to bother stopping until I see the boss. Barkskin. Oh, and the boss should be right here after this group. Rage of the Sleeper. Just going to get up here to line of sight anything that might be casting something. And we we mash buttons. DPS has been really great about just mashing them while we're moving. That's really nice. Okay, moonfire that bastard. Okay, so I said I would try standing in the way of whoever gets targeted. A cocker. So let's see, is that it? Do I need to stand in the way? Yes, I do. Okay, so it's a tank mechanic. My bad on the first run where I just let somebody face tank that. Okay, I'm not going to use any of my cooldowns because we're going to be pulling again to a boss. Movement speed to everyone. Now I know which way to actually go. Last run I didn't. Charge these. Thrash them. Keep moving. We're going all the way to boss. We're going to pull these together with the boss. I'm going to pop all my cooldowns. We're going to zug zug. Bark skin while I'm moving. Thrash. Thrashing and swiping. Good. Okay, I think that's the boss up there. Moonfire the boss, stand over here. Line of sight all these bad boys. Oh, whoops, he doesn't leave this little circle. Whoops. I thought he would go, like this door would be the exit, but I was wrong. I reset him accidentally. Accidentally reset. Didn't. Thought he went to this door, but he actually just goes to this little lip here, so that's my bad. There we go. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have popped everything. I should have waited for the Dreadlord to come out. But luckily, Incarnation lasts forever. It lasts so long. I still have the buff active. 18, 17, 16, 15 seconds. Waste of a Thrash there. Doesn't matter. There we go. And we can continue mashing. Pop Berserk as well. I still haven't made that dang macro. I really need to make that macro. In fact, I'm gonna do it as soon as I finish this. This is not a particularly interesting fight, it seems, because all I do is just kind of stand there and beat up the boss. Okay, there we go. We got a Drape. That seems like a huge upgrade. 328 versus 316. Maybe not that huge of an item level upgrade, but I saw the stats. The stats were pretty big. Leave Instant Group. Let's make that macro before I forget for the 50th time. Hold on now. Slash macro. Ikusagan specific. We don't actually need this anymore because we don't have that trinket, so I'm just going to delete that. But let's create a new macro. Show tooltip. What are we making? Oh, that's a long spell name, so let's open up the spell book. The Guardian. Show tooltip. Shift click that. There we go. And then slash cast that and slash cast, and that's under general berserking. There it is. Racial save. Does that actually work now if I use it? I think so. So I'm going to remove berserking from my bars. I'm just going to keep Incarnation Guardian of Ursoc. There we go. We're going to save that. Put that down here. Actually, I'm just going to remove it to make sure that I'm using the macro and not the spell. There we go. Okay. I think I did 3 dungeons this run. Patrol Captain Gerdo. I don't know if I reset. Yeah, I have no clue if I did 3 dungeons or 2 dungeons this run. Judging by the time recording, it's 30 minutes of recording. I think I did 3 dungeons. So I'm just going to call it here. What level am I? 67, almost 60. Wait. No, I didn't do 3 dungeons. This was my second dungeon. The first one was a normal dungeon. That's why it took so long. So that's why it's 30 minutes now. So I need to do another time walking dungeon. I almost robbed you of another dungeon right there. All right. I think an episode or 2 ago, I had this. I also did only 2 dungeons. But that was because I talked about talents for like 15 minutes, and I don't know what I edited out of that and what I didn't edit out, what I decided to keep. So yeah, if I had a very long rant about talents in one of the episodes, I apologize if that bored you, but if not, then I have nothing to apologize for, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to shut up until the cube pops. There we go with the cube pop. Let's see what we get. Hopefully I did queue for time walking. It would really suck if I didn't. Okay, good. And it's a quick one too. Well, at least it feels like a quick one. Alright, I'm not even going to bother waiting for everyone. I'm just going to get going. Thrash that, kick this back into route form. Or I should say into travel form. Because now they differentiate between mount form and travel form. Okay. I procced my thingy thing. Okay. Use my berserk here. It does work. The macro I made does work because I see that I have the berserk troll thingy thing. Berserking troll racial also on cooldown. Gonna pop Rage of the Sleeper here. Very nice, very big. Gonna kick this, make them join this group, get mauled, or more like get thrashed. How did this group get pulled is what I want to know. Somebody's griefing me with these pulls. He enrages, but I can't dispel it, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, let's finish off these mobs. Ooh, I got a new helmet. That's nice. I can't kick that, but somebody did. It's good. Just gonna finish this off so I can go full movement speed at the end of this. I probably should have kicked the storm and not that so that I can get close to it. Okay, she's dead, so it doesn't matter. Travel form and let's get cracking. There was somebody who didn't get the buff at the start of the dungeon, but that's okay. Oh, I got a higher item level version of this, but quite a bit higher item level version than this. Okay, I'm gonna save my kick for the, what's that thing called? For the polymorph. Okay, see, the Arcanist decides to use it. They didn't decide to use it. We accidentally pulled the snail. We're just gonna kill the snail real quick so we can stay on full movement speed. There we go. Okay. Gonna go this way around. I don't want to pull any of these tides because they take quite a bit to kill. And they do a nasty, annoying knockback that I don't want to deal with. Skip this. We go and we kill this Arcanist. There it is. Somebody please kick her. Please kick. Okay, I'll kick. Oh, that Thrash hit the snail? Dude, Thrash range is ridiculous. Look at the range of this Thrash. That's crazy. Let me just grab this. I'll give people movement speed here. Okay, I'm gonna save my Berserk for the next boss, along with my, what's this thing even called? Heart of the Wild? So that I can do a lot of damage to the next boss, because this boss is really a non-issue. The next boss is a little bit annoying to deal with, so we're just gonna deal with it by just crushing it with a lot of damage. Hopefully. Although people are doing quite good DPS in this group, so we might not have much of an issue with the next boss. Not that we usually do, we've never wiped to it or anything. I just really don't like this boss, so I want it to die as quickly as possible. Okay. We used the Bloodlust after the boss was dead, but we still have the Bloodlust buff, so I'm just gonna go in and go to town. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Lots of damage. Kicking ass, taking names. It's submerged, it's now in the back. I'm gonna use my movement speed buff to try and keep up. It's casting submerge again. It's over there now. I'm gonna go trowel form so I get around a bit quicker. Back to bear form. Let's finish it off now. There it is. Very nice. I just don't want any seagulls to attack me. Because Lord knows those seagulls don't mess around. How did this person die? Where are they? There we go. Battle res them. So we move around quicker. Battle res is instant cast. Don't have to sit there and stand there and cast for 8 seconds to resurrect them. Hopefully my group doesn't pull anything else. They don't seem to be. That's good. That's good. Big respect. Still don't seem to be pulling anything. Still nothing being pulled. That's good. Now those might get pulled. Yeah, I'm gonna pull them preemptively. I'm gonna go to the snail. There we go. And we're gonna use Rage of the Sleeper. That was a bit of a waste. Probably should have used Rage of the Sleeper sooner when all of these things were attacking me. Because what Rage of the Sleeper does is it makes enemies take damage when they attack you. It's like basically another layer of brambles. No, it's the seagull. Get the seagull away from me. Probably don't need to pull these guys, do I? I think I can skip this. Yeah, you can just straight up skip this. The, whatchamacallit, the giant. I probably should not be pulling this giant at all. I just saw people mount up and run around the corner. Probably should not be pulling that giant and the group of murlocs at all. That's my bad. So I've been extending these runs unnecessarily by pulling extra trash. Whoopsie. Oh well. I'm glad I learned that now. I could, now that I see it, I could swear, like, yeah, that I used to do that before. In the sense of before I started recording these videos. But that sounds conveniently like me trying to, you know, sound like I'm smarter than I am. At any rate, I'm going to start doing that now that I've seen people walk around. What am I saving my cooldowns for? I guess last boss? I don't know. Last boss is kind of a pushover, it feels like, though. Ah, the snails. There's always a snail at the worst possible spot. And then you have to kill the snail before you can keep moving quick. Guys, come on, help me kill the snail so I can mount up and move faster. You guys can mount up too. Jeez. Did I get any other loot? No, it's just a mask from before. Okay, so next loot is going to be down here. Give this person movement speed. I'm gonna bop him on the noggin over here. We're gonna start casting. We're gonna kick that. Is that the shaman? Yeah, that is the shaman. So the healer goes on his own to fight this mob on his own. What the heck are you doing, dude? Like, what value are you providing for your team right there? Nobody getting heals? That's supposedly a good thing? Somebody just got polymorphed. I don't get people like that, but I guess it's time walking, so you're going to see all sorts of weird stuff. At least that person confidently plays the game. Alright, let's pop everything. And we zook zook. So everything is Berserk and Rage of the Sleeper. That doesn't look like something I want to stand in. Oh, that's why. We get knocked up into the air. But it was an evoker, so there's no fall damage because he can just, you know, use his wings. That's nice. And there we go. We got a neck piece. Is that an upgrade? That is indeed an upgrade by quite a few items. Equip that. I am not going to be joining you guys though, because I need to go and finish this episode, which is now 40 minutes of recording. Dang, I'm gonna lose a few minutes on waiting in queue, but whew, still a long episode. I think because the first dungeon was so long, right? Because it was a normal dungeon and people were kind of questionably performing. But oh well. What we're going to do, we're going to go innervate into Nature's Vigil. So we have the Nature's Vigil for the AoE healing for our group. Yep, I think that'll be it. And the innervate, I'm going to put the innervate on Alt F, I guess, because F and G are my like healing related cooldowns. So I'll put it on Alt F. I don't usually play with innervate, so I don't know where to put it. But let's put it on Alt F and see if I need to move it anywhere. This was not an upgrade. Let's vendor some stuff, and then I think that'll be the end of the episode. Vendor. We're almost at 6,000 gold, dude. That's amazing. 6,000 gold is going to be great. Wait, let me double check that these capes are not upgrades. They're not. 6,000 gold is going to be great. Because that means I can definitely craft at least one item once, oh, excuse me, once I get my sparks. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.